Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be building a transfer pump with a Milwaukee battery charger and basically the cheapest little fuel pump I could find on Amazon. I bought a ton of these and I usually just stake them into the battery, but today we're going to be setting up like a little bit more of a permanent setup. I've seen this done before and I kind of figured it was pretty easy to build. I wanted to show you guys how to do it. So let's get started. Okay, so we have the cheapest fuel pump I could find on Amazon. This usually has a connector on it, and I cut that off to stake it into the battery terminals on a Milwaukee M12 battery. But this fuel pump's worked out pretty good for me in the past. I already pumped out like 10 gallons with this particular pump, and I think this thing's like $12. I'll throw the link in the description, but you almost want to buy a few because you know it's going to break and you know it's actually very useful. So, and then I also have an M12 battery charger. People with a lot of M12 tools generally have like a ton of these, only because they give you a charger pretty much every time, and how many of these do you really need? So I'm going to be tearing into this and adding a switch and adding the pump to make it kind of like this, so that we have a nice neat unit that you can kind of bring places. You don't have to rig it up every time, and usually there's never like a flat spot to put anything. So we're gonna set this up just so you get some ease of use, and it's actually probably pretty nice to use, hopefully. So we're gonna start by just removing the T10s on the back of the Milwaukee charger. It's about 4 of them. So I've never been inside one of these Milwaukee chargers, but let's rip it open and take a look. Well, it kind of looks how I expected it. There's a lot of crap in here, but we don't need hardly any of it. All we need is basically these pins, and I'm going to try to retain these existing pins just because that's going to be a really easy way to stake into the battery reliably. Maybe you could hot glue the stake-ons into here, but it's just so much more reliable to use these. So there's a lot of stuff that we're just going to get rid of in here. I know this board looks mildly daunting when you first look at it, but there's really nothing to it that we need, at least. So I'm going to start by just chopping off the 120 side. And then we can pretty much get rid of this cord. So now we're looking at the back. Obviously we have a battery positive and a battery negative there, and that's pretty much all we need to jump into. I'm going to try to solder right onto the surface mount here, but I don't really know what else is going to happen if we don't just scrape off these traces. So what I plan on doing is scraping off all the traces on this, so that we don't actually have any reason for this not to work. So these are our 2 traces for our positive and negative connections with the battery. So what we're going to do is we're kind of gonna look and see where these traces go. There's one little leg here, and there's one leg here, and then a big leg right here. And pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to sever those off. So this, I'm just going to idiot check ourselves, see battery negative on this side. And then you kind of look over here, and it's battery positive on this side. So we're just going to take a screwdriver and just get to work on it. I know this isn't the most proper way to do this, but it's a way to do it nonetheless. So we're going to go till we kind of see white, because the white is going to be the board, like the actual board, and then you're gonna kind of see gold as you scrape down, and the gold is gonna be like your traces. So this is obviously like a printed circuit board, and they layer this gold on there like extremely thin, so it's very easy to get through it. So now I'm just kind of doing the layout on this, just because I want to lay it out before I actually run the wires into the unit. I think this is how I'm going to do it. Obviously, you want to make sure you have enough room to stick like a bigger battery pack right there. So I'm going to move this back as far as possible. And then I think this guy's just going to go right there. Okay, I wish this was a better fit, but it's not a great fit because this switch didn't have enough throw to go through the venting section. I think already if I were to do this again, I'd probably put the switch right there because it's actually like something to grab onto plastic-wise. But we're just going to have to roll with it. Worst case scenario, you just throw a little JB weld on the back here. So I really didn't think out the switch placement right because when it's here, you can't get to this screw on the side to put a connector on it. But that's all right because I'll just take another shot at it and put it on all together. Or you could always just stake onto these, which I might even do, but I still had to get the screw out anyway. So yeah, a little foresight would have helped me kind of big there, but that's all right. I'm just gonna... Just so if you guys go to do this, then don't do the same thing I did. So I'm going to break the ground side of this circuit. And we're going to use one of these little ring terminals, wherever that went, right here. On both sides. Tightening that guy down. On either side of the switch. Try to give myself as much wire as possible so when I take this apart again, eventually it's, you know, not a big deal. And I'm just going to bend these down so it doesn't interfere with anything. Like that. Okay, so now I can reinstall this switch. Hopefully. For the last time. Okay, so the switch is in. I hate the location of that switch, but again, first time doing this, so... Maybe next time we'll just put it in a different spot, and obviously you do the same. But wires are routed. They both come in, and now we just got to solder these guys onto the board. Now, whenever I'm doing surface mount, I try to just tin the wire before I put it on. That meaning I just get a little bit of solder on it, because then once you kind of heat up the two joints, then they just like melt right together really easily. Okay, so positive goes on the outside. Just going to try to give it minimal heat because obviously I don't want to burn anything. And it's good to go. Just take a close look at that. Yeah, they're good enough to work. Now I'm going to put the bottom plate on and see how she works. Okay, so that's it. On-off switch, pump up here. Just put 2 self-tappers through it. And should be ready to take a battery, and we'll see if it'll start. Okay, so we got a battery on here, and there she goes. So she's working away. They do make a little bit of a different sound when they got fluid going through them. They're fully self-priming. That's kind of why I like them. I mean, this thing ripped right up right away. And it does push pretty good. I have drained a full, like, 8-gallon tank on one battery like this. So they are pretty efficient, I guess. Definitely very useful because it's fully transportable and it's, you know, no strings attached. So that's about all there is to a fully automatic Milwaukee transfer pump. It was probably less than 20 bucks I spent on it, just stuff I had lying around, and obviously the pump's like $12. Again, I'll put all the links in the description, and if you like this sort of stuff, please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.